You're on record.
Okay. Announcement is made that adequate notice of this meeting has been given and that it is being conducted in accordance with NJSA 10:4-6 et sec. Of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Nora, call the roll.
Ms. Grignani.
Present.
Mr. Mazzarella.
Here.
Mr. Quinn.
Here.
Mr. Reddy.
Present.
Mr. Willens is not here. We have 4 people at this point. I haven't heard from Davey, but that,
So,
He says we go with 4 as long as we have the majority.
It's enough.
No.
no.
We'll see.
She says no.
It is. Think so? No. Oh, it was 4, so.
For C's.
Huh?
For C's, you can do 4. Okay, we also have our board planner, Mr. Chadwick, our board engineer, Mr. Lamanowitz, and our
Here.
board attorney, Mr. Johnson.
Here.
Okay, stand for pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Chadwick, can you raise your right hand, please? You swear or affirm that any testimony that you give tonight you will the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Mr. Romanos, you swear that any testimony that you give tonight you will the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Okay, at this point, if there's anybody here from the public that has something to speak on other than what's on tonight's agenda, please come forward now. See none, hear none. Okay, resolutions. Application 24:34, Ajit Chandra, 249 Atlantic Drive, variance to construct a C variance.
So moved.
Have a second?
Who seconded that?
Second, Grignani.
Nope, Grignani cannot.
Okay. See, like somebody else has to do it. Robert?
Second.
Is that Quinn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mazzarella?
Yes.
Quinn?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, second one is application 24:20, Salah El Zain, 880 Littleton Road. C variance for an open deck with landing and stairs and a major soil moving permit.
So moved.
Second.
Mazzarella?
Yes.
Quinn?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay, those are the resolutions. A little bit off the agenda, we're going to start with application 23:10, Klein Outdoor Advertising. We're moving this, is that correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everybody. It's a D variance, of course, and we only have 4 members presently, so I cannot proceed. I'd like to go ahead and ask that I get adjourned. I understand your next available meeting is September 25th.
Is that right, Norm?
That is correct.
Okay, September
Adjourned
20th.
without further notice, and we'll give all extensions through the end, so.
Thank you, sir. If anybody's here for that particular one, we will be coming back September 25th, right? Is that a special meeting or 7:30?
Is there a regular 7:30?
7:30 on the September 25th. There will be no further notice to it.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great time.
You
Thank
too.
you. So if you're here for that, you can leave, and if not, we'll start rolling. Okay, next up, application 24:15, Martin Juan, 22 Lawrence Road. C variance to construct a new 2-story, single-family dwelling with attached garage and open deck with stairs, contrary to section 430-35.
Yes.
Oh,
Good evening.
okay.
Good evening.
Ben Lindeman from Porzio, Barbergan, Newman, and Morristown, on behalf of the applicant, Martin Wong. We were here a couple months ago, and my client testified as to some of his plans for the what they hope to complete with their project. I think it's maybe worth it to bring him back up, if that's all right, and we'll just go through a little bit about, why we're here and what we're seeking. After that, we'll hear from the engineer and our architect, discussing, why we believe that, C2 variance in this case is we hope will be granted based on looking at the criteria for approval. We are seeking, there's 2 variances for existing non-conforming for lot area and lot width. We are improving existing non-conforming coverage, but still needing variances for impervious coverage and minimum front yard setback. And we are seeking variances for The yards and courts and opens deck proposed with the, proposed is 38.67%, 24% is required, and a maximum building coverage, we are seeking to go from 25% to 32%. But as I said, impervious coverage is being reduced from hopefully 54.2% to 48.98%. And as I said, the front yard setback, we're hoping to be approved to be reduced from 16 presently to 21.
I
swear in my-
think just if I can, real quick, one of the bigger things of this last time around was the stormwater management and getting
Yes,
the
and we
engineer
met with
involved.
the engineer and we discussed, and our engineer will bring, discuss
Okay.
how that meeting went and what, why we were able to, or why we received a letter just yesterday, stating that they didn't have an objection to the project after their review.
Okay.
All right.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you state your name, spell your first and last name, and give us your address?
Martin Won, Martin, last name Won, 192 Westervelt Place, Lodi, New Jersey, 076.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wong, can you tell me a little bit about your plans for the home and how you came to find Parsippany and what you plan on doing?
Sure. We found my parents, they live here in Parsippany, and my family's here today. I have my second daughter who's about to be born next month, and we are looking to kind of move into Parsippany, and I want to grow my family here, and I just feel that for my family's future, Parsippany is our future home, and we do need the space because our family is growing, and so we're here before you today to hopefully move in and just this project will really help our family to kind of grow and flourish here in the great town of Parsippany.
Thank you, Martin. Can you tell me a little bit about what the house presently at the property?
Sure. So the current house is just a one-story building, very old, and it's just has one bedroom, just not big enough to house our family currently. So we want to definitely improve and also just make new improvements with this project. And definitely it's been probably, I'd say, one of the older houses on the block that we've finally start to change and build.
Thank you. And how many bedrooms are you seeking to have built in the new house?
I believe there's 3 bedrooms in the new story, the new project,
Okay,
the building.
thank you very much. There's a,
So this is taking down the current house that's there and rebuilding completely?
Yes,
And currently, how many bedrooms are in it?
just one,
Just one?
just one.
And you're proposing 3? I had another question that just slipped my mind. Any other questions from the board currently?
I do have a question. Looking at the photo of the present home, to the left of it, that's a 2-story home that is there at the present time.
Yes.
And I also see in back of you, there's another 2-story home. Okay, thank you.
That was actually what I was thinking about asking, but now I look at the picture. Anybody else, any questions?
Did you go through the engineer report? You guys in compliance with that?
Yes.
You agree? Okay.
I think
and as I said, the engineer will speak
The
on
engineer
behalf,
will talk about
what we had a great meeting with the the township engineers about a few weeks ago, and they provided a letter yesterday, but that our engineer will discuss it. If there's no other questions from Mr. Wan.
At this point, and I'll let everybody know before we go any further, if anybody from the public has any questions for this witness, you can come up and ask questions. At the end of the, at the end of the hearing, you'll have a chance to speak for or against it, but right now it's just questions, direct questions to each witness that comes up. Any questions? So state your name.
Hold
You
on.
gotta state your name and
Robert Kosicki, 25 Marsala, right behind the proposed house.
Spell your last name, please.
Kosicki. Will the print be larger than the existing footprint that's being demolished.
Footprint, you mean?
The house, the structure,
I,
the walls.
It's probably a question
Yeah.
for the engineer or the architect.
yeah, I think we're gonna go through the plans for you.
Yeah, the engineer will speak on that too, and you'll have the opportunity to ask the question as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the public? Come on up. Remember, questions, just state your name and spell your last name, please. and
Michelle
address.
Palumbo, Palumbo, 28 Lawrence Road. I am the house to the left in the photo. We were told at the last hearing we would get email copies of both of the engineering reports from the lawyer, and none of us received them.
He only received it yesterday afternoon.
How convenient.
I received it today.
I know, but I mean, we should have had those documents, don't you think, before the hearing? Because I'm on the left side. I have serious drainage concerns. I'm sure they do too. They're immediately behind.
That was our big ask, and that's why they met with the township engineer, and we did get the letter yesterday, right? So we'll have the engineer go through that with us, and I assure you, we're gonna ask those same questions, since they
Okay.
were our questions
Okay,
the last time as well.
okay.
Yes?
Patricia Vasto. I live on the...
Can you spell your last name and
Sure.
address?
Vasto. I live on the other side of this house that's going to be taken down.
What is your address?
20 Lawrence Road. Has Fire and Rescue come out to take a look at the proposed house that's going up?
This is the time for you to ask questions of this witness, Mr. Juan, on the testimony that he just gave.
Okay, then I'll be back.
Anyone else? See none, hear none. Anything from this witness? Anybody else?
I have just one question. Is there an encroachment along your south side, adjacent to the woman that just spoke, sidewalk?
Probably better for the engineer as well, but let me see if
No,
I
it's to your client,
could, what's that?
to your client.
Okay.
Is there a sidewalk that runs along the house next to you? The woman who just spoke. Concrete walk, survey showing it looks like it encroaches on your lot. Do you know that or not?
Well, the front walk into it goes across
Not what he's proposing.
yes.
It says concrete sidewalk, and it shows a line for that sidewalk, which appears to be on your client's lot. Was that disclosed, or has there been any?
Okay. If we
I
could,
want to put it a different way. Are you planning to remove any of that
I think, I just spoke with our engineer. He's aware of what you're talking about and might be able to shed some light on it. That would be,
When he gets up,
would be better probably than Mr. Warren. I'm just told it's the neighbor's concrete walkway that's not being disturbed, but I'll leave it
Okay.
to him to speak about it.
Okay.
Um,
Anything else? All right, thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, I'd like to call Tom Scrabel, the project engineer, up to speak about the project. He was sworn in at the last meeting and deemed an expert, but if you'd like, we could do it again. I don't know if it's...
I'll swear him again, but we won't need to qualify.
Okay.
You swear affirm that the testimony that you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. I guess while we have Mr. Chadwick's question, we could start with that, about the encroachment that was discussed.
Yeah, I'm trying to bring up street view so I could show people, but it's not cooperating.
Use the mic, please.
Yeah, make sure you're...
It's actually the neighbors, there's asphalt up against the neighbor's house that abuts ours. So that's what's shown, the joint between those two. I'm not sure if it's concrete or asphalt, honestly, that's why I was trying to bring up street view to confirm that. But it's actually the neighbor's improvement that butts up against our driveway. So it's not our encroachment onto their property, it's
No,
That's what he said.
the opposite.
It looks like you're not going to remove it.
We don't need to remove it. If that serves a purpose for them, we're happy to leave it there.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I think we could,
We don't have to go, I don't think it's what your intent was.
What's that?
What your intent was, and that's pretty clear. Just leave it as it is.
Yep. Best way to get started probably would be to tell us a little bit about the meeting that we had with the town. And
Sure.
what the, what the questions were going into it and what, how they've been addressed.
Yeah, the changes on the plan are almost all stormwater management related. You want me to just go through them all real quick? So the latest plan has 2 revisions, lower left corner. The second revision is 72524, revised drainage and coverage. So the coverage aspect is twofold. We added the existing improved lot coverage, kind of top right on the drawing, just left of the area map. So you can see the decrease in impervious coverage that's being proposed. We're going from 2,136 square feet existing impervious coverage to 1,939 square feet. There is a typo there. The total is shown the same for both, but the numbers at the bottom, where underneath where it says total, those are the correct numbers. So 2,136 square feet is what is existing today. We're reducing it to 1,939. So basically removing 200 square feet over the entire site. The only other minor change in impervious coverage, if you recall, last time there was a AC unit shown outside the dwelling. We've taken those units and put them under the deck. So they're not counted twice. That coverage is included in the deck coverage number. So there's a very slight decrease in overall impervious coverage on the site, proposed conditions as compared to the last drawing.
I'm sorry, Mr. Scribble, did that remove a variance as well?
Yeah, there was an accessory setback variance.
Yeah, an
That
accessory.
is no longer necessary. And then the larger change on the drawing, we met with the township engineer. They went through their requirements, their criteria for stormwater management. We bounced it around a little bit, what options we had, and ultimately we came up with the design you see. And what that is we're collecting all of the roof water, and we're piping that to Coltech units in the front of the lot. The Coltech units are shown bottom right corner of the drawing. That's a cross-section view. So they're basically like half-round pipes that are underground. The roof leader pipes get piped into those. It infiltrates into the soil. We also are providing an overflow. So in the event you get larger than the 3-inch storm, which is what this is designed for as per your engineer, if we get larger than the 3-inch storm, the overflow comes out of the top of the Coltech units and connects to the existing stormwater management system, township system in the street. So under existing conditions, there are no stormwater management items on site at all. So everything runs off. The roof leaders run off, the driveway runs off, the patio, the shed in the rear, everything either runs off the side. In this particular case, most of it runs off to the rear. Under proposed conditions, we're collecting driveway, roof, all of it will eventually get into the municipal system. So it's a huge improvement. Not only are we reducing the coverage on the lot, which in most cases would preclude us from even having to provide detention infiltration, we're also providing the infiltration for a 3-inch storm. So it's a significant improvement, stormwater management-wise, for the site, for the neighbors, the community as a whole.
Okay, could you, we have a question about the footprint of the building and its changes.
Yeah, those coverage numbers, again, are upper right on the drawing. The existing dwelling is 931 square feet. The proposed dwelling is 1,288. So we're adding about 350 square feet in the dwelling. But again, the net is a reduction, and that comes from removing, there's a bunch of driveway on site that's not necessary. There's a driveway that runs all along the right side of the house now. There's this big shed in the back, concrete pad in the back. All of those items are being removed. So again, the net is a reduction, but the dwelling itself is an increase.
Okay, and then if we could just go through the variances being requested, the minimum lot area, minimum lot width.
Yeah, those are existing conditions. There's nothing we can do about those. We're non-conforming as far as Lot area, 6,000 is required, 4,000 exists, and lot width, 60 is required and 40 exists.
Mhm. And then the yards and courts and open decks, this is a percentage requirement from the township.
Yeah, that's basically the dwelling plus the deck.
Mhm.
You're allowed 20% for the dwelling, and they give you an extra 4% for the decks. So that's what that 24% represents. The variance we're requesting for the dwelling itself there's no way we could then meet the yards, courts, and deck requirement. So they kind of go hand in hand. The one variance creates the other.
Okay. And you discussed the building coverage percentages, the impervious coverage is being reduced from its present state, as you said, and then the front yard setback?
Yeah, we're proposing 21, and the existing setback is, I can't find that number right now, but I think it's,
I think 14.7 is what I have.
yeah, there it is, 14.7 feet.
And so again, the house will be just a little bit further from the road than it is presently?
Yes,
So that's the part of the change in the footprint?
yes.
Those are all my questions for the engineer. We have the,
What currently runs along the right side of the house?
It's all paved asphalt driveway?
All the way to the back property line?
Yeah. You can, I should have mentioned this first, and I think I might have at last meeting, hopefully I did. All of the existing features are the lighter gray tone. What's being proposed are the darker tones. So you can see kind of at the upper right-hand corner of the proposed dwelling, as you look at the engineering site plan, it says asphalt driveway. That's the edge of the existing pavement, so it goes all the way to the back of the deck.
You're basically gonna take everything off this lot?
Yes,
The house, driveway, shed, concrete pad back there, everything?
yes.
Fences in the back, you're gonna leave those?
The what in the back, I'm sorry?
The fences?
There was no plan to remove any fences?
Yeah, I'm just asking. Okay.
So currently where the shed is the shed on a concrete pad as well, or is that just on the soil?
I'm not sure if that has a concrete pad under it or not. It's included in the coverage either way.
And that's coming out?
That's coming out.
If there's a concrete pad, that'll come out as well?
Yes, that coverage is being removed.
I think we should update the survey to show that those two, the shed and the concrete pad in the back are to be removed, because I don't see that.
There's a note upper right on the site plan, it's pointing to the concrete pad. It says all existing improvements to be removed, so.
Is the same plan submitted to the board?
I'm sorry?
Whatever you're talking, that the plan is submitted to the board?
Here we go. Yeah, there were, any surface improvement on the site is being removed.
Okay.
The only thing we're trying to reuse are the utilities.
And how much of the driveway is coming out? Oh, I mean, all of it's coming out, but are you replacing driveway? I'm trying to.
Yeah, our proposed driveway, which includes the wall and the front steps, is 392 square feet. The existing driveway and front walk is 759.
Okay, so that'll
And this is
just,
travel, rather than along the right side, that's gonna go into the driveway will go towards the front of the house on that left side?
Yes, we're
So
doing
it's gonna be-
garage under. So everything slopes down from the street, and it's a
okay, so the driveway.
10-foot wide driveway. It's
All right, I see. So
really
the
as small
driveway's
as
gonna
we
be in
could
front
make
of
it.
their house,
Mhm.
so it's not gonna be on either side of property.
No, you go straight down into the garage doors.
So the neighbors
Garage
won't
door.
have the driveway connected to cement, it'll be all soil and grass, correct?
Yes.
So it'll now be impervious, the areas abutting the neighboring properties where they're now paved will hopefully be, if approved, would be impervious at that point.
Yeah, on the right side
And the rear,
is all grass, will all be grass. The left side will all be grass. Under existing conditions, the right side is essentially all paved.
Yeah.
The left side is a mixture of, it's mostly lawn now, but there's like an oil tank there. There's a little bump out on the existing dwelling. All of that'll be gone. But anything outside our proposed foundation will be lawn.
So that'll take up more of the water.
and again, the rear as well.
Yeah, except for the deck,
Yeah.
it'll all be lawn, yes.
What's the deck gonna be made of? Is it just solid?
Wood deck, yeah. Trex maybe, wood-ish, wood-looking deck.
What's below the deck? Just the AC, the
The
unit?
AC units, and there'll be gravel under there, just so it's maintainable.
How high off the ground is the deck that the AC units will fit under?
The first floor is 305, so if you take 305.4, so if you take one step out, say you're at 305 at the deck level, and the grade in the back is like 297 and a half, so you got almost 6.5 feet.
Okay.
Put a set of stairs running down the side.
Right, yeah, I saw that.
So in summary, from your professional opinion, the current structure and ground coverage and everything is going to be improved upon with your new plan? All the issues?
I think absolutely. The primary issue last time that we heard loud and clear was stormwater management.
And now you've addressed that, and the town engineer's in agreement with your plan that addresses it?
Yeah, they found it acceptable.
Yeah, okay.
They have a couple other minor comments about construction-related items, removing drop curbs, installing.
But you're in
these curbs,
compliance with all those?
Which we will comply with.
Okay, no, thank you.
Do you have to file a best management practices report with the town on this or not?
We did not, because it's all roof water,
Okay.
which there's no requirement
I didn't
other
see
than
it
a
in
dry
the
well.
engineer, I didn't see it in the engineer's report, I just didn't know.
And one thing I should mention, I did mention that there's an overflow from the Coltech units. So the way these were designed, the way these were sized, you can see, it's an upside-down pipe, basically. So the storage is in the stone initially, then it's in the pipe, and then eventually you get to the overflow pipe. We only included the storage in our calculation below the outlet of the overflow. So this thing could fill up another foot, and you'll never see it. It's not gonna come out on the surface, it'll still get into the municipal drainage system. So that's additional storage we're not even taking credit for. So it's very conservatively designed, and I'm extremely comfortable this will be a noticeable improvement for the neighbors.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I would just suggest that if the board acts favorably on this, that there be some kind of statement in a resolution that the action of the board does not justify the encroachment, or make that encroachment, I don't want to say bless it, it doesn't legitimize the encroachment.
Okay. All right, at this point, if anybody... okay.
Sorry, there was a question I forgot that did come up last time that I just wanted to have addressed in case it doesn't come up again. Mr. Scribble, will there be any changes to the grading?
No, you can look at the proposed grading is where the existing contours just tie into the proposed dwelling. We're not changing any of the spot elevations around the site. So the lawn areas will continue to drain as they do now. Most of them or the impervious areas will now become lawn areas, and the dwelling will be taken out of the equation. So that's where the conservative runoff comes into play.
Thank you, sorry.
So the town engineer's point number 3, a minor soil moving permit must be obtained.
Understood.
That's the foundation. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. Thank you.
So there will be no fill brought to this site?
No, I'm sorry, what?
No fill?
No.
How
No,
about-
we
how about
discussed.
Are you gonna have a basement in this house?
Yes, we discussed it with the engineer. The only number that gets included in the soil movement number is what you're spreading around the site. So if we're excavating for a foundation and taking it away, that's a 0. So our soil movement application is gonna be for, 20 cubic yards of topsoil.
You're intending to take the foundation, the volume of dirt that's to create the basement and spread it around on the lot?
No, we're intending to
Take it off.
truck it away. Well, we'll just bring in topsoil to top dress the lawn areas.
Okay.
So again, it'll be a very minor. soil movement.
After removing the pavement or removing the other stuff?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's not a basement currently, right?
No.
It's a crawl space.
Okay. Any other questions? Good?
No question?
All right, at this point, if anybody has any questions for this witness, please come up. You state your name again?
Yep.
We need you to state your name again and address.
Sure. Once again, it's Robert Kosicki, 25 Marsala. I'm concerned, I'm happy to hear that the concrete pad has been removed, but there's still, even absent the concrete pad, in the corner, abutting 25 Marsala and 17 Marsala.
Just the questions right now. You'll have your chance to, is there a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you're taking the pad out, the concrete pad. What is being, and I assume it's being replaced with topsoil. There is still a 3-foot drop. What's being done to address that? Because right now, between 17 and 25, we have a river when we get a heavy rain. The privets in the back that were previously there were taken out. So everything is funneling into that corner. And like I said, I'm happy that you're taking out the concrete. I realize that'll create more pervious space, but I still have a 3-foot drop back there. And I did not have the benefit of this plan. We were promised, we weren't given. I can't see that far, so if it's addressed on your plan, I apologize, but speak to me. What's gonna happen back there?
Well, if everybody looks at the drawing, right at the rear property line, right above where it says Lot 10, you can see where it says chain link fence. There's an elevation 297 and change, and the elevation on the property to the rear is 295.30. So there is a 2-foot drop there. The problem is the drop is literally on the property line. It takes place, that 2-foot change takes place along the property line. So we can't smooth that out without assistance and permission from the neighbor. I mean, we would be happy to smooth that out. It doesn't hurt us. But we couldn't, I couldn't show grading on the neighbor's property on a drawing.
So, Mr. Engineer, in layman term, what is the grading solution that you're proposing with the consent of the adjoining property owners?
Well, I guess you mentioned that it's primarily a stormwater management issue. That is being solved based on the testimony I already gave. The fact that right now, everything from the site, all of the impervious area runs off, most of it directly toward the rear, and then down that slope. We are changing that completely. We're removing a bunch of impervious area, and the impervious area that's left, we're collecting it all and taking it out the front. So all the water from this lot, the 4,000 square feet right now that drains toward the back, virtually none of that, a very small percentage of that will continue to run out the back. That's how you solve the stormwater management issue. To solve the grading issue, which, once you solve the stormwater management issue, I'm not sure the grading issue is really that important, but if you don't like the fact that there's a 2-foot drop along the property line, you know, I think you need to work with your neighbor, assuming we would get approvals, and we could smooth that out a little bit to your satisfaction. There's no reason we couldn't.
It's not a question of aesthetics as much as it's a question of assurances that it's not going to aggravate the flooding between 25 and 17, which occurs every time we have a heavy rain. That's all I'm concerned about right
Definitely
now.
not.
I think
We're not gonna aggravate that.
his testimony said it will be much abated with the new construction.
Everything that used to go about back is going to come to the front with their plan and their system put in place as they testify.
I've been doing this for 30-plus years. I don't think I've ever reduced coverage and stored a 3-inch storm on a residential site. This is the most conservative stormwater management, again, on a small-scale residential site that I've done in 30-plus years. It's gonna get much better.
Any other questions?
And to what extent will the variance requested on the size of the deck affect the stormwater management?
Again, the deck is part of the area that any water that drips through the deck, there'll be gravel underneath it. Honestly, most of that gets absorbed. During the real strong storms, the intense storms, any water that runs off will continue to flow the way it is now, which again is toward the rear. But the area that's being directed that way has been so significantly reduced that the net change is definitely going to be a decrease toward your property.
Am I allowed to ask questions about the other variances that are being requested, especially about the backyard setback?
Yeah, if they're relevant to his
Are
testimony.
you gonna have a plan and testify?
No. Yeah, in terms of, from a privacy point of view and from an aesthetic point of view, your lot is higher than my lot, which is fine. But you're building a house that's going to be even taller. I'm going to have my neighbors peering into my backyard and into my house, and now you've got my neighbors 4 feet closer than they were before. How do you address those concerns? Am I not correct?
Well, we'll start by saying, I mean, this is obviously not testimony, but the rear yard setback is,
Don't forget,
20 feet is permitted. Was it?
25.
we only have the March 21st, 2024
We didn't get
proposed.
anything.
There's no update showing what
Which
the
one is
variances
this
are.
for? Sorry, sir.
It's for
One of you
I
at a
know,
this
which-
time around.
Yes, which
Ma'am,
of these?
one
are
of you at
talking
a
about?
time,
Because
okay?
Rear yard was not,
Let me ask you a question. Would your client be open to putting landscaping, evergreen landscaping along the back rear yard?
oh, would you be willing to put landscaping on the back of the yard?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Just, we were even planning to, put rock, or, I'm sorry, bricks, just to kind of, reduce the soil that's actually we want to do.
He's saying for coverage, so it's not gonna-
Your lot's 40 foot wide.
So it's not providing privacy, I mean,
Well, first of all, we'll say, there was no.
I was under the impression, just so you know,
Yeah.
I thought that it was currently, it was a 25-yard setback,
25 feet?
25 feet, I'm sorry, and that they were requesting a variance
No,
No,
to 20.
you're not.
No.
25 is the front yard setback.
yeah.
What is the back setback?
30
The
is.
question you raised.
No, sorry, 20 is permitted, where 30 is proposed, so we're well within the,
They're 10 feet.
yeah, we're 10
Less
feet from
than it
what
can
we
be.
would be allowed to, as of right to build.
Okay.
So,
And in other words, this proposed house is not closer to your house than the current house,
Okay.
okay?
And in terms of, and when the deck is put on, how
Yeah,
will it be, in terms of how far will it be from my
What's the
house?
distance between the edge of the deck and the property line?
29.
Just over 20.2 feet. And just to be clear, the back of our proposed house more or less lines up with the back of the existing deck. It's about 1.5 feet further away from you than the existing deck. So our house will be closer than the existing house. I don't want to,
Right, that's understood. I'm asking about the deck. Will the existing deck be closer than the existing deck?
the existing deck is, and I'm scaling this number, about 28 and change to the edge of the existing deck off the rear property line. We're proposing 20.2. So the deck will be about 8 feet closer.
Can I say something? If privacy is a matter, we are looking to possibly replace the fence with more of, white fences, the plastic fences that don't have any sort of visibility toward the back. I'm planning to remove the current fence that's there and set up some sort of, privacy fences.
That's our fence. That's our fence, I don't know.
Oh.
The fence in the back is our fence.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So that if it would be on the property line, it would be, he could put a fence. If he were to seek, it would be abutting the other fence.
But won't your deck be higher than the existing deck?
Yes.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay, so if you go higher, I'm lower by definition.
Again, no variance is being sought for
We're
that.
not seeking a variance for that, so.
No, I understand, but in
yeah.
terms of I'm
I
addressing
understand
the
your purpose,
privacy
that's
issue.
not what we're here for.
And I think we've stipulated that we would be willing to agree to landscaping
Trees and such. so
trees
that
and
when they-
such across the
they-
back.
When we be able to see that.
At the same time, if you have a privacy, your side also you can put some bushes or something to cover.
How tall is the current fence, the chain link that's there?
I believe it's only 4, but I'm going from memory. Chain link fence, is it higher?
It's 6. It's hard to tell because of the way the lots, your lot is up above mine, and it goes like this, and it slopes downward,
It's their fence.
which is the 2.6 or 2.8, where it hits the maximum, and it actually keeps going farther down as you go down the street.
I think the best thing for us to do would be to do some landscaping, which my client intends to do anyway. It's gonna stabilize that slope, it's gonna provide screening.
It'll take more water too.
If they wanna put up a fence on their own,
It'll
they
suck up
have the
more
right
water.
to do that, but that's something that they'll think about down the road. But for now, I think landscaping is the best way to go.
And is that,
Could be a condition of approval. We
We
could
can
add,
give you the privacy, that's basic.
Okay, we can write that into,
Yeah.
we can write that into the resolution, add it to that. We can put that in there if we approve it.
Would it be advantageous for the applicant to speak to our forestry department to see what type of shrubbery would be?
Why don't we just specify evergreens?
Okay.
Like I said, that will also help with pulling up some water too.
Yeah,
the water.
drainage.
That's probably the best way to go.
Okay.
Anything else?
no, I think that addresses my concerns.
Thanks,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? Questions, come on up. Please just state your name and address again.
Michelle Palumbo, 28 Lawrence Road, Parsippany. So I am the house
Right into the mic, ma'am.
of the
please.
second-story dwelling to the right.
Okay.
Or to the left on this picture. So the footprint of the house is changing, right? They're gaining space on the side of 20, and they're gaining space on the side of 28.
Is that
So
the
the
question for the
footprint
engineer?
is, the footprint is wider considerably, right? I mean, I'm looking at the,
It's wider, on your side, again, if you look at the lighter tone underneath, the setback on your side, the house juts out.
yes, I
It's a
know.
little bit of an L shape.
Yeah.
So where it juts out, the setback is 5.4 feet on your side, and we're proposing 6.5. So we're actually a foot further away on your side.
You're to the right, right?
left.
Oh, I'm sorry,
You're looking
left
at
of this picture, right, if you're sitting
So
in
this
that.
existing
So this is
setback,
me,
this is the existing setback, 5.4. That's
Right.
the building line.
because here's the bump out.
Right.
This is the oil tank, this is the bump out. So we're that much closer on this side and that much
No,
closer
this
on
is
that
the
side.
old building line. And I'm just gonna highlight it for you if you don't mind.
This is it, right?
This line.
Yeah. Got
That's
that.
the existing building.
Right,
Our proposed building is here, so it's a foot further.
so it's a foot,
away.
okay. As far as the chain link fence on my side goes, that is not my fence, by the way. That was put on my side by the previous owner. So, will that fence, I have never removed it, just because it was courtesy to the people who lived there before. Will that all come out? I mean, I want it out. But I broached the same issue as Bob with drainage, because I am lower in the back. My property does slope back to them. So that would be my concern as well, where when that fence comes out, which I hope that it does, I'll say that right now.
Is it on your property?
It is not. It is on my property, but it is not my fence. It's a very long story, you don't need to hear about
The
it.
fence is, the fence is definitely on her property.
Yes.
It's tough for me when I go out there to tell whose fence it is.
No, well, the
But-
gate is on
the
that,
gate's
the
on-
gate's
yeah,
on that
something
side, so.
Yeah, that fence, this is the chain link fence. You can see the dimension I'm pointing at. It's 0.7 feet, so it's 8 inches on
Right,
the
it's
neighbor's property.
it's 4 foot off of my deck right now. And like I said, it's a long story, nobody needs to hear it. But I never removed it, but we would like it removed. We were waiting to see what happened with the property. Nobody wants this house gone, I'm gonna say that, more than me.
So we'll cut to the chase. Do you plan on taking the fence down?
Take the fence
He's taking
down
the-
and
take the-
put up like
He's in agreement.
whatever
He's in agreement, he's in agreement, your fence will go away.
But it's on your property.
Pretty good.
It is on my property, I just never took it down.
He's gonna do some
because,
renovation on your property then.
I'm happy about that. I am though concerned with the fact that my house was 1933. My house sat in the 100 by 100. This 40 was divided back in
Just
1945.
questions now. Questions, please.
Okay.
We'll let you speak on anything you want at the end.
I guess my question is because I'm so close, because my property line is so close to my house, when this heavy equipment starts coming in to do the demolition, to do the regrading, to do the building, I'm very concerned. My foundation is 1933. I'm losing a little bit of space.
Actually, you're gaining it, right?
Well, I'm gaining a foot, I think, right?
Yeah, so you're not losing
Okay,
it.
I'm not losing them, but I'm concerned about the heavy equipment that's going to come in and put pressure. I mean, we're close. We're 5 feet.
It's really not huge equipment on a 40 by 100 foot lot. It's going to be a rubber tire backhoe, maybe a track excavator. They literally
They're not
pull
coming
the
in with
building
wrecking.
walls
Well,
down and,
That's not what I see what's going on in town, I'll just say that, but.
well,
This is, we're
The
talking about
lot
this
is
one.
smaller. No, I get it, but I mean, they might have said the same thing, I don't know.
We don't let them say that. We
No.
make sure they do it.
Okay, that's
Any other
fine.
questions?
I guess not. I don't know.
It's 11 feet, I guess it's 11 feet from one,
Yeah.
like the house
Yes.
line to the other, to your house.
Exactly.
So
It's
you know,
fairly a narrow space.
close, but it's not on the property.
yeah, the neighbor's house is 4.9 and we're 6.5.
So everything else is quiet around. We'll have them do it at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
Thanks, Chairman.
yeah, I'm up anyway, but, okay,
right.
so my concern was the fence and drainage issues because, like I said, I am lower in the back.
Okay.
And if they're gonna provide landscaping and everything else as they are for, the back property, then I would expect that we would have to expect the same thing on our side.
Okay? Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Questions, please, come up. Name and address, please.
Tricia Vasto, 20 Lawrence. I'm on the right side of the house. I have concern about the driveway where they're going to put the grass. Okay, the cement that's there, evidently was put there when I bought the house. It was there for some type of drainage because the water was coming into the basement into my house. So my concern is when they start digging and they start digging over more towards my house, am I going to get more water in my basement? That's my concern with that.
Just from visually inspecting it, I agree with you that that's why that was put there. We have a driveway that runs, again, all the way along the right side of our house. It was right up against the neighbor's dwelling, more or
It
less.
doesn't go all the way, it goes halfway down.
We go back to the back of the deck.
The driveway does go to, I don't think it's the back of the deck.
Yeah, it goes beyond the back of your house.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, looking at the picture.
Yeah,
No,
looking
I
at
think
our,
it goes, I think
looking
it
at our
goes
survey.
halfway. It's very close, but I don't think it goes to.
I can
the
show
end
you
of
on the lines on the survey if you'd like, but we definitely extend that far back.
I'm concerned about the drainage on
Right.
that side.
Yeah, so that's the edge of our driveway, see, way back here. This is your house here.
Okay.
And I agree with you that, so basically our driveway pitches away from our lot.
It does angle a little bit towards mine.
Correct, which was probably an issue. So somebody decided to come in and put a little ramp against your foundation to force the water to the back, so that it couldn't run down along the edge of your foundation and seep into the basement. I agree that that's probably why that was done.
Okay.
What we're proposing to do will not affect that at all. We already said, if you want us to leave that in there, we'll leave it in there. But once this is lawn and we're meeting those same elevations, the water's still gonna run along the edge of the concrete.
There's a 3-foot water table underneath, as you probably.
There's not. We did test holes. You were there.
Yeah,
You
I
saw
was
us.
there, and you did that without flagging, the property wasn't even flagged when you did it. So like.
I'm not sure what that means, but
That means that nobody came out and put flags for the utilities.
the markout was called in.
It was called in,
And it was
but you
approved.
were supposed to wait 3 days before it was done, and you did not do that, because I
And you-
spoke to them this morning.
All right, we're gonna just keep it to questions. We can do the other conversation.
That's not the
Okay.
case.
But that's my concern as far as the water goes.
Got it. So,
Okay.
will the water situation for her property be lessened by this construction?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're not affecting the direction of the runoff at all, which is why that concrete ramp, again, I believe was put in. just from looking at it in hindsight, and that will not be affected. So it'll serve the same purpose, but there'll be much less water in the area.
And even though the concrete ramp encroaches on your client's property, there's no intention to remove that, correct?
No, no. And if, again, it's not gonna serve the same purpose anymore. It could be removed, but I don't wanna go down that road. If the neighbor thinks it's important, we'll leave it.
If there is a water problem, who's responsible?
They have to abide by the engineer's requirements that the engineer feels is significant enough to keep the water properly maintained. At that point, that's all they have to follow. They have to follow the engineer, the township engineer's
Okay,
report. And he's saying that with what they're proposing, it'll be okay.
okay. Thank you.
Again, there's presently no stormwater management
Right.
system in place.
Right.
There will be, based on the plans that are drawn.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
And Mr. Chairman, can I just make one comment?
Sure.
And the neighbor might want to respond to it. We did do test holes out there. We went down 7 feet in the front yard, 7 and change. So we were 4 feet below the basement floor and no water.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? See none, hear none. Any other witnesses?
I'm good.
You good? Done with the witness?
No, we're very good, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other witnesses?
I get the architect here to go through the plans, what the house is gonna look like, if the board
I
would like
don't think
to.
that's the issue for us right now.
No, so,
I don't think so.
No.
okay, Mr. Kim, we're okay. Oh, no, you said, it's okay, you don't have to, you don't need to testify.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we went through it the last time. Anything else?
That's it, we hope that they're,
I'm up.
He wants to talk.
they said it's okay. You don't need.
You're good.
Oh, yeah?
No.
We went over this the last time.
Thank you.
Don't talk unless you have to.
Yeah.
Trust me.
No, I just appreciate the board's time. Again, we learned a lot last meeting. We had a great meeting with the township engineer and hope to bring a project to the area that will not only be beneficial aesthetically, but also will be helpful for any water issues that were previously caused by this property. And we hope that for those reasons, the C2 variance can be granted based on the positive effect on the neighborhood and the town. And we don't see any detriment based on the fact that there's no stormwater management right now, and there will be a new one put in place. So we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Anybody in the audience that wishes to speak against this, please step forward now. This is your chance to speak freely.
I'm not speaking necessarily against it, but could somebody tell me how this furthers Parsippany's master plan? Are we looking for a C1 or C2 variance here?
Thank you. I can speak to that. It's a C2 we're seeking. We think that it satisfies the positive criteria as it's updating the housing stock, which is goal number 11 in this master plan. It's a desirable, it adds to the desirability of the visual environment, which is goal 11. It increases water mitigation and reduces impervious coverage, which is goal 8. And we believe that, for those reasons, they meets the positive. I wasn't able to come up with any negatives that this is hurting. I guess the gentleman had some, comments about the changing in elevations and who can see into whose yards. But we believe that that's not, doesn't rise to the level of something that should deem this denied, or should have this application denied.
Do you think there's a C1 variance here as well?
We spent a lot of time thinking about that, and
Just the size of the lot?
yeah, no, it's an undersized lot, but we're not really able to try and gain access to purchased lots to make it the right size. And I was a little bit concerned, about whether it would be where the hardship comes from, and if it's if it's something that would have raised that level. So I was.
Well, the hardship is the size of the lot.
Yeah. So but if it was it was created by the owner, but.
No, it wasn't.
No, so, yeah, we certainly, I think it's an undersized lot that is, trying to build a modern home with simply 3 bedrooms, which I think is pretty standard now. It would be very difficult to do without seeking some variance help, so, thank you.
Anybody else against?
I'd like to counter. aren't you effectively pricing out people that have the smaller houses?
That's not our concern right now, sir, on this application.
Okay.
That's how we're making our decision on.
Okay.
I don't know if it does or not, but that's not what we're voting on.
All right, I just, I'm watching what's going on around the lake. and-
I hear you.
Okay.
I think it would help a bit, but that's not what we're dealing with tonight.
I mean, people are purchasing undersized lots.
Sir,
and then-
that's not what, that's not what we're
Understood.
dealing with tonight, I'm sorry. I appreciate your concern, but we can only deal with what we're dealt, the cards were dealt with, okay? Thank
Yeah,
you.
we think it's a nice house for this family that's looking to move to town.
Yep.
And again, don't believe it's going to negatively affect the neighborhood or the neighboring property.
Anyone else against? Come up and
This is your opportunity to speak either for or against the application.
anybody for the application wish to come forward and speak? See none, hear none? Oh. Anybody on the board?
Would you like to come up and say anything, or?
I just did.
Yeah, they said before.
You don't have to be sworn in to say you're for it, right?
Well, if they're gonna testify.
We don't even know him.
I think you're gonna get to know him.
We're good. Anybody on the board wish to make a comment? Do we need
My
to close
comment,
section?
we good? I don't need to close this session, but if the board does, I'll.
Anybody in the conference?
In conference. My feeling is the following. Clearly, this lot is proposed or has some major water issues through history, okay? And the neighbors have a right to be concerned about that and the concerns that have been addressed now by Mr. Wan and his planners, to my satisfaction, that there actually is going to be an improvement on the amount of water coming from his property to the neighbor's property. And that should be greatly appreciated and abated. And frankly, looking at the structure, I think it'd be a nice addition to the neighborhood, frankly, and I'll be voting in favor of it. I think they've been very compliant with every request we made, and they're compliant with the engineer's report, so I'll be voting in favor of this application.
Anybody else want to make any comments? Someone?
Yeah, is a significant improvement in the stormwater management, and the applicant put a lot of efforts to go to the engineer's office and in compliance with the report, so I'm in favor of it.
I'll just throw one out there. I think he's been very compromising over the times we spoke. Definitely think that you've made the adjustments to improve the water. Hopefully, everybody will see the difference quickly, and I'll probably be voting yes for it. Anybody want to frame a resolution?
Application 24:15, Martin Wan, 22 Lawrence Road, block number 289, lot 10, zone R-4, to grant a C variance to construct a new two-story, single-family dwelling with attached garage and open deck with stairs contrary to section 430-35, 234, 810 and 13, section 430-10I. In compliance with the engineer's report and the recommendations, whatever the board and the applicant agreed.
The privacy evergreens in the rear yard and the removal of
Yes.
the fence from outside.
Yes, fence removed on one side, and the back side is evergreen plants.
On the rear. We
On the
will
rear.
also not remove the concrete on the right that's encroaching
No,
presently. So
Yeah.
that would like
I'll
to
put
be-
that all in the resolution.
Yes.
Second, Grignani.
Nora?
Grignani?
Yes.
Mazzarella?
Yes.
Quinn?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Willens?
Yes.
Okay, the application has been approved. We will memorialize this at our next meeting on, what's that, 21st, Nora?
Yes, possibly.
All right, once we're done with that, you can go on ahead. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, application 24:36, Michael Muai, 26 Ute Ave, block 562, variance, C variance to construct a patio contrary to section 430-35.
You raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, have a seat. State your name, spell your last name, and give us your address.
Michael Moy, last name's M-U-I, 26 Ute Avenue, Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey, 07034.
Did you see the engineer's report?
No, I didn't.
Would you like to take a few minutes to look at it now?
Yeah, did it get mailed to me or anything?
Oh, yeah.
You might want to have a conversation with the municipal engineer and come back after you have that conversation.
Okay. Yeah.
What we're suggesting is you ask for the case to be carried
Okay.
and have a meeting with the engineer.
Oh, why, what did they say? Did something happen?
There's some substantial considerations with respect to stormwater management issues. Okay?
All right.
Which, I'm not an engineer, but I would imagine that some of his comments might be quite costly. So you might want to get a little bit more information.
All right.
So the point being is for us to approve your variance request.
Oh, extra copy?
Hey, folks. Hello.
Hello.
Folks.
Guys.
Folks, in the hallway.
Thank you. So for us to hear and approve, you need to agree to what the engineer is gonna suggest you do, okay? And he's probably gonna propose some potentially costly alterations to your stormwater management. So before you get this approval, you need to do that, okay?
Okay.
So you might want to know what that might entail before.
Yeah, like I said, we just moved here
Yeah.
and Christmas, we have a young baby, like, we didn't know what was going on, we wanted a patio, we were getting estimates, no one said anything, and then actually, the guy who I called actually worked on the house previously, I think he did some work, and, he was like, you gotta get a variance. So-
Yeah, so I,
I
like
didn't
they
know,
suggested,
yeah.
go over the engineer report, talk to the township engineer, there's quite a bit on there that needs.
I didn't even hire a contractor yet.
Okay,
Good.
good.
Smart man.
Good thinking.
Well, I didn't know.
Do we have a possible
So
date?
you want us to carry this to another day,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And you're giving the
I mean,
board,
if it's gonna be like $100,000 or like.
Well, you,
Why don't you
We
talk
don't
to
know.
the engineer?
Yeah,
Find out what-
I'm not gonna be able to do that.
talk to the engineer,
Okay.
okay? So you want us to carry this to another day,
Yeah.
and you're granting the board all necessary extensions, correct?
Yeah. Do I get charged more or anything?
Not by us.
Okay. All right.
no, we're actually, might be saving you money.
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry, like I said, I'm still in the repair.
I'm sorry, hold on.
Like people have pictures and everything.
We can carry the application to October 9th.
October 9th, so before then, review that letter,
Okay.
talk to the engineer, see what it's gonna take, get your estimates, and see if you're gonna do it.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
And any further notice or anything?
No,
No.
October 8th, what did you say?
Here on that one?
Was anybody here for that case? Anybody here for that one? Guy
You
just
guys
came
just wanna
came to
see
hang
if
out?
you're working, right?
All right,
Any
moving
on the
on.
board at some point in time?
All right, 24:33, Jane Lieber, 9 Vanguard Place, Block 64, C variance to construct an open deck, 2 sets of stairs contrary to section 430-35, column 4, 5, 13, and section 430-10.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name, spell your first and last name, and give us your address, please.
Jane, Jane, Lieber, Leber, 9 Banghart Place, Mount Tabor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, want to tell us about your proposal here?
Proposing to replace my existing deck off of my living room with a composite deck and keep the same size and footings.
So where it shows on the survey, it's not a regular deck, it's kind of a, I don't know, it's not a trapezoid, it's, I don't know.
It wasn't a match.
It's odd shape.
Well, yeah.
That's exactly the
It's-
footprint that the existing deck is?
Yes, it was put in by, I believe, the previous owner. I've owned my house for 12 years, so.
And you're not using any of the old deck to, not just resurfacing, it's gonna be brand new?
Yes, except for, I'm not sure with construction, but I know we're keeping the same footings.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Put new material on the old footings.
That I don't know. I have my contractor here. He might be able to,
Well, do you know where the water will run through the deck?
That's the question.
It's not a tongue and groove, it's boards with his openings between the boards.
I don't know that either. I'm not sure with composite how that is constructed.
If it's composite, I doubt it's tongue and groove, but.
We have the contractor come up.
Yeah, let's have the contract.
Sure, have your contract.
Want to have the contractor come up? Did you want to?
Oh.
It's just much easier. He can give us the answers.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name, spell your first and last name, please.
Dave Bastido, 15 Sid Taylor Road, Lafayette, New Jersey.
How do you spell your last name?
Bostedo.
And you're the contractor for this project?
Yes.
And what will the deck be made out of?
It's composite. The existing frame footprint is all staying, and it's composite decking with rails.
And will there be gaps between the boards?
Yes, yeah.
So the water will run right through it.
Right.
That was the question.
That was the question.
What is the?
So you're replacing your old deck with a new deck in the same footprint?
Yes.
Why are you here?
Yeah, that's what we're kind of asking the question. Why are you here? But hey, you did it right
Well,
there.
Just want to see it.
Anybody want to?
We were told that we had to.
I'm sorry. Oh, sorry.
That's what we said.
Any
Yeah.
questions from anybody in the public for this witness? Anybody want to speak for or against? All right, anybody want to frame a resolution? While we're here?
It's improving a current old deck. I don't see what's better here, so I'll be voting in favor of it. I mean,
All right, want to frame that out there? Ready's usually good.
Application 24:33, Jane Leber, 9 Barngard Place, block number 64, lot 3, zone R-3 to issue or granted C variance to construct an open deck with 2 sets of stairs contrary to section 430-35, column 4, 5, 13, and section 430-10I. Basically, it is a replacement of the old deck.
Yep. Yeah.
Have a second on it?
Second, Grignani.
Nora?
Grignani,
Yes.
Mazzarella,
Yes.
Ready,
Yes.
Williams.
Yep.
If it's okay, I'd like to answer a question as to why they are here.
Okay.
When you remove something, it is now as if it has never existed. Therefore, they
But he
need the
didn't say
variance.
that. He said- I think he's using the frame, just putting a new deck on.
And
For
the frame
zoning?
is staying.
Yes, but for zoning, it's,
If you take the deck off,
yes,
it's considered
yes,
removed,
it's all, yes.
even though. the
Take a
front-
house down to the foundation, leave the foundation, it's still a new home.
So they kicked the football to us to waste our time. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When can we?
Okay. Yeah, they're just taking.
Should have been done without permits from the previous staff, you know?
Fair enough.
Okay.
We have a date, next meeting, is it?
Right.
We approved it, we're gonna memorialize it.
Oh,
She said they never got
I didn't say they didn't, it's possible.
It's
they
possible,
never-
that's what she
never,
said.
And that's another reason.
Just voted.
Yeah, I think it's more.
August
important.
21st.
We just did.
All right, what date can we, you're approved.
They're approved.
We'll memorialize it at our next meeting.
Now-
It's up to you know, when I receive the resolution.
Okay, so we can't go forward until we receive
At
the
least 2
formal
weeks. That is
resolution?
correct.
Yes, okay. And no, taking down the deck until we get the resolution, or can we?
Probably shouldn't do anything until you get the.
Yeah, we'll wait till you get everything.
Resolution, and will that
That'd be
be
the
sent to me by regular mail, or?
I'll send it to you through the mail.
Okay.
And then you're gonna go back to the zoning department for your zoning permit.
Ah, okay,
Okay?
great.
And then-
Okay, terrific.
Okay.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
The next one.
Thank you.
I don't have No. All right, next up, application 24:41, May Ann De Los Santos, block 716. Permission to park property owner's vehicle in property owner's driveway.
Owner's vehicle, owner's.
Oh, you're here for her.
Problem.
I don't have the, I don't
have anything?
have any, maybe it's under yours.
Yeah,
Is it up here?
it was with us.
There it is.
Oh, all right, I was ahead of the game.
Okay, can you raise your right hand, please? Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name, full name, and spell your first and last name.
My name is May Ann De Los Santos, resident at 52 Hawkins Avenue, Parsippany, New Jersey. It's M-A-E space A-N-N-E. Last name is D-E-L-O-S space capital S-A-N-T-O-S.
And who do you have with you here today?
My neighbor, who doesn't want me to park in my driveway.
You're an objector, so you can sit back
You
there.
sit back and wait for now.
You'll get your turn.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
You can take the front seat.
You don't go all the way back, you can sit right there.
Okay, so it's,
So, I mean, the application is pretty self-explanatory. I know back in 2018, I had a previous application, and I know he complained about me parking on the existing part of my driveway, which I said at the time, it wasn't going to be an issue. I was really utilizing it, but now I do. I have another car that we've purchased, so I need like additional driveway. I mean, it's my driveway. I should be able to park in it like any other Parsippany resident, correct?
how many people live in the house?
Huh?
How
It's
many-
me and my parents.
Okay, so how many cars do you have?
We have 4. But, I mean, still, again, it's just, you know, I want to be able to park in my driveway, just like any other Parsippany resident. He tells me he doesn't want to look out his window and see my car, but I'm just like, but that's what a driveway's for. So it's just like, I mean, I really don't know how else more to explain
Let me
that.
ask you a question. A few years ago, when you wanted the driveway expansion, the board approved it?
Excuse me?
Didn't you say in 2018 you were here before?
I wasn't here for a driveway expansion, it was for a shed. But he came to mention that he didn't like the fact that I parked in the side here.
That driveway existed when you
Yes,
bought the house?
yes.
And
So it's still my driveway.
it's there?
Yes,
not
it's always
conform-
been there ever since I moved in, since '96. I mean,
Okay. 96?
I just want to be able to utilize my driveway to park
96.
cars. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
main
slow down,
purpose.
slow down. 96 is when you moved into the house?
Yeah.
And the driveway is
It's
exactly the
always
same?
been there, it's always been
Okay.
paved, it's always been a driveway.
And you just have not had a car parked on it.
No, I didn't have to utilize it back then, but now that I have.
Now you want to
another
park a car
Yeah,
on your
I mean,
driveway. It
yeah.
was there all the time.
Yeah, I'm not really asking
It's
much.
your driveway and you want to park your cars,
Exactly.
not for rental or anything.
No,
Okay,
I just want to
got
park
it.
my car.
So
So
nothing
what,
changed.
why are
there.
you here? What are you violating? What do we have to approve here?
Well, it was back in
conditions-
2018.
The
where my-
driveway is pre-existing non-conforming.
One of the conditions of the
So-
approval was that she not use the driveway to park her vehicle. She's asking you to remove that
So I can
condition to allow her to
driveway.
use the driveway.
Okay.
Is she,
Condition of what approval?
That was in the resolution, that she could not utilize her driveway. She's asking you to remove that
When was
condition
that?
from the
This was
resolution.
back in 2018.
Back in 2018, when you approved her variance,
Mhm.
she agreed, and it was a condition of approval, that she not use the driveway. But
She was
she's now
asked
asking,
by, I don't remember,
Yeah.
she was asked by her neighbor, or the board asked her not to do it because her neighbor came out to complain about her parking in that area of her driveway, so
Oh, at
she
that time,
agreed to do it at that time.
at that time she didn't need that, so she
But
said
now I
yes,
do,
now she
so-
wanted. Oh,
is
I
she,
mean, there's no harm.
excuse me, is she encroaching on any of the neighbor's property with her driveway?
no.
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 Her variance was you're supposed to have 5 feet separation between your
Okay, all
driveway and your side property line.
right,
She doesn't.
okay. Are there any shrubs that are blocking the driveway or giving some distinction?
I mean, he does have trees planted, which I was also concerned about. That's like park's borderline, at least one by my gate, but that was just because the tree over the years has like, I guess the roots caused my driveway, you know, to rise up. So then now that we have like, you know, we fixed that, now it's like, you know, a new driveway, I'm concerned if those roots will like continue growing, which I know they will, if that's gonna create more damage. But
Is there a fence, there's no fence between you and the
there's
neighbor?
no fence. I mean, he just has like this.
Wait, hold on, what are you
Yes,
showing the
Yes, what
board?
are you showing us?
This is one of the trees that he has like literally planted like by my gate.
Okay, can you just write an A, capital A dash 1 on the upper right-hand corner of that picture? Do you have a pen?
Here you go.
Here you go.
Bring them up here.
I am.
Display a big A-1.
Date, no?
And what is that picture of?
This is, just a tree that he had planted. That was like, I guess, borderline with his property and like my driveway.
The right lower portion of that photograph, does that
Yeah,
show your
this-
driveway?
This shrub, yeah, this is actually my driveway, and this is where his tree's planted, so it's like borderline.
Yes.
Yes, of course. This tree that just keeps growing bigger and bigger.
Your mom didn't want you to cut that down.
That's
Okay.
not what?
Okay, okay,
That's
okay.
not the
Hold on,
issue here.
case.
Hold on.
That's got nothing,
That's not the issue.
do we need that picture?
Yeah,
But like, even, here's another picture I can show you of
Wait,
the,
Hold on.
Hold on, now you gotta write an A-2 on that one. And you're gonna leave those with us.
no problem. So here I took a picture of the side area where I just really want to park my car. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it.
Is any of that grass area yours?
That's his.
That's all his?
Yes.
So the property line.
Yours is just the, excuse
All
me,
the paved,
all of the paved area is
Mhm.
yours?
yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
So I'm just kindly asking to rightfully just park in my property, just like any other resident would in their driveway.
I have another
You're not
question.
speaking up loud enough for us to hear.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just saying, like, I just want to be able to just, rightfully park in my driveway like any other Parsippany resident does, is parking.
I have-
You do understand that the driveway is non-conforming, right? And it's supposed to be 5 feet from the property line. It wasn't when you moved in, and who knows when it was constructed. So it's been non-conforming for 30 years, based on what you've said before.
Mhm.
I have a question. There are 3 people in the home at the present time,
Oh, yes.
and you have 4 cars?
Yes, I just purchased a vehicle this year.
Are you going to be selling one of the cars so that you'll have 3 in the driveway?
I mean, is it wrong to have 4
No, you can have
cars?
as many,
Yeah,
so long as you're on your driveway.
Yeah, I mean, I can easily fit 3 cars, but I
Okay.
just want to be able to have the additional space. I don't even park fully all the way back in. I'm usually the one that parks on that side, so I always reverse in anyway.
Okay, so the 4 cars that you have,
One is
are-
already on the street.
you have 1 on the street and 3 in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Any questions from the public at this point? You have any questions? Do you have any questions yet?
Put some input into this.
Okay, you'll have your chance in a minute.
Do you have any questions for her?
No.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it. Just asking if I park in my driveway.
Okay. At this point, if anybody would like to speak for or against, please come forward.
That's you?
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? State your name, spell your first and last name, and tell us your address, please.
James Cangelosi.
Spell your last name.
Spell your last name.
CANCIALOSI.
Okay?
Maybe you should sit and
Can I have a
speak
seat?
into the
Talk into the microphone.
Can I have my pen back if you don't
Oh,
mind?
yes, I'm so sorry.
May I,
Yeah, into the microphone. Just make sure you're talking into the microphone, please.
I'm sorry.
Talk into the microphone so we can hear you too, please.
Okay. Uh,
So you live next door to her?
I live next door to Mr. Santos, and on February 7th, 2018, she was applying to have a section of driveway.
I need you to
between-
speak into the microphone. You have to speak up.
Between our homes to have it legalized. Apparently, it wasn't legally constructed.
But it was there.
I'm sorry, sir.
It was there and had been existing for how
It
many
was
years?
there, I don't know.
Ever since you lived there?
I moved in 2008, I moved.
And it was
into
there
the
then,
home.
right?
It was there then,
Thank you.
but, and she wanted to legalize it.
Mhm.
She wanted to have it legalized. And, this has really grown into quite a story. We went, I'm sorry. We went before a committee to discuss this, and I took a sidebar with her I invited her out into the hallway to discuss what the issue was. I had three things that I wanted her to comply to resolve the problem. Number one was that her father or she would take the bricks that he placed along my driveway at 3-foot intervals. Another thing was that he would take down a piece of plywood that he added to the fence. I didn't want that there. And the third issue was I didn't want a car parked in that section of space that she wanted to have legalized. I had no problem with her legalizing it. In retrospect, I should have fought it tooth and nails. But I don't know how long the section is, but it wasn't legalized. I said, fine, I won't object to you legalizing that. I'm sorry, my throat isn't in too good a shape. We went on February 7th to discuss this, and we went before the committee. I've never done this before, so I don't know what the appropriate title is. But she made certain agreements with me. One of the agreements that she has not expanded the driveway and just wants to legalize it. The driveway, though, isn't the section we're talking about. The section that we're talking about between the two houses is not built to accommodate a car. I can pass these out.
What is that?
We have that.
You do have it. So you can see where the section is that you want.
Speak into the microphone, please.
You can see the section that she wants legalized. It's not a big section.
Speak into the microphone, please.
Pull it towards you, you can move it towards you.
Watch the tone.
There's no tone. I've asked you several times to speak into the microphone.
Well, I'm not doing it out of malice. I'm doing it because I wasn't prepared quite for what's going on.
Okay.
Speak into the microphone.
I will try, I'm sorry. Don't shake your head no. One of the questions was, I asked her if the applicant would be parking cars in the driveway that extended to the side of the house, and that's that small section. The applicant said that she would not park a car in the driveway on that side of the house. Now, I think I can resolve this today.
Microphone.
What are you showing the board now?
I'm showing, she put a car in between that section where we had agreed where there would be no car placed. Okay, that's that small section that she wanted to legalize, and which I agreed to. I said, fine. If you look at this car,
Please speak into the microphone.
it takes up the full width of that space. She's on my property. For her to exit that car or get into that car, she has to come on my property to get in and out. It's too close to her house. So if she pulls the car in backwards, she won't be able to open the car door on that side. If she pulls in the driveway forward, she has to be on my property. She has to exit the car to step on my grass My neighbor gave her permission to do that. And under the circumstances, I absolutely am opposed to her parking a car in there. Now, I went on the internet, and I went to look at legal sizes of the width of a driveway. And for a driveway that size, it said between 10 and 12 feet. She's not 10 or 12 feet. She doesn't have that space. If you look at this, you can see at the top part of that
That is the survey.
survey, yes, it's 8.10 feet. If you look at the base of that rectangular piece of property where she wants to park her car, it's 8.08 feet. It doesn't comply to what the standards of a driveway to accommodate that car, that size car. She only has a space for one, and you can actually see the footprints moving from her car in the snow where she had to exit. That is not a driveway, it's a walkway. It was meant to be a walkway, and it is a walkway. It's not a driveway. And she does have space in the front of the house to park 3 cars comfortably. And if she took some of the stuff that she put up in the front and put it in the backyard, she could probably gain another 4 feet of space to move forward into the thing. I also would like to state that I offered her to park in my driveway. I have a big driveway and I live alone. She said it's too far to walk. So as far as I'm concerned, she could forget that offer too. And that's basically where we are. She did agree that she would not park in the driveways back in 2018. And to me, if you agree to something, you should abide with what you agreed. You don't keep changing it every year, or every 2 years, or every 3 years.
Or every 8 or 10.
And that's where we're gonna go with this, because she's not gonna stop. But the point is, she's on my property. For her to put a car in that space, because it's only 8 feet wide, she would have to exit on my property. And absolutely, I would not give her that permission.
So if she had a smaller car and didn't have to step on your property?
She could put a little sports car there, and it would probably, maybe fit. I'm not sure. Yes, sir.
No.
Do you have anything else to say?
If anyone has questions, I have a million pictures. That's another thing she's been doing. Ever since the agreement, she's been parking cars in there. Now, one of the cars, her 4th car, she backs in because she has to get around the side of the building. So, I'm sorry, if I was gonna make a big chart for you to see, and I didn't get time to do it. This small section, if she backs, she can't get out on her side because the door won't open. It's not wide enough to open. So what she does is she pulls it in halfway, and then she has the front of the car sticking into the main driveway, and the back of the car sticking maybe a third of the way up in the other section. It's a walkway. When it was put in, should have been a walkway. It's not, it cannot accommodate a regular car.
Anything else?
I don't know, sure, I've never done this before. Do I need to give you more information?
Do you have anything else you want to say?
If there's anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay. Do you have any questions for him?
Not exactly questions,
We'll
but
give you a chance to respond
Okay.
and rebuttal, but do you have any questions for him?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to say?
Yeah. I'm sorry it's late. I'm a little disappointed. Every time she parked a car in the space, whether it was partial, I called up and I guess I complained. And nothing was done. As a matter of fact, last time, just before...
We don't have any piece of that action.
Who did you call?
I called the code people, the gentleman down in the basement of the building. I don't know his name.
Do you know the department you spoke to?
The lady on the end does.
He spoke with the code enforcement officer who had been out there.
Okay.
And you and him have been discussing the issues, and your
But-
response was you wanted to put up an ugly fence. Put up a fence so she couldn't get out, the ugly side facing her, make it as ugly as possible.
That has nothing to do with what the issue is.
But that was your response.
I could have put banana trees up.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
that wasn't the issue.
All right, so you've had your say, okay? Do you have anything you'd like to say in rebuttal to the opposition?
Well,
Try to
for
be
that,
brief.
for that van, we no longer have that van specifically. But like now, like if I can show you an example just of like how much space I use, I'm gonna have to do an, I'm so sorry.
Do you have any other ones besides that?
No, I think this might be the last one.
I can
But
give you
just
1,000.
as an example, like this is probably as much space that I use just partially. I don't completely fully park all the way. Like he said, like I need to get out. It's easier for me to reverse park. But like just even complaining just for a couple feet just to use that, just to fit all the cars comfortably, because I always feel like I have to Tetris now with all the cars if willing. Or like say, for example, like in the snow, you know, we get a lot of plowers on Hawkins. So of course, you know, like I've had cops like knock on my door saying, hey, get your cars off the street. So I always have to like maneuver. And if I can't even use just a couple feet of that side, where am I supposed to put it? You know, so it's like, and then like even afterwards, I always shovel like the street just to put another car back on the street, just to make things easier. So it's like, if I can't even use a couple feet, like what else am I supposed to do if like when the winter comes? And he's even like, can't come and harass me saying I'm going to get a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. And even if I tried to do it temporarily, you know, just to make things work. But like, I can't live like this anymore where I can't just come home and just park in my driveway.
Okay.
So.
Anybody else? So you were given the opportunity to speak. I asked you if you had anything else to say, and you
She's
did not.
changing the dialogue.
That was her rebuttal to your opposition,
Okay.
okay? I asked you a few times whether you had anything else to say, and you said no.
I have a lot to say.
Well,
But
you were given an
We don't have much time.
That's it. You have to step back, sir, in case anybody else wants to come up to speak.
I'm sorry?
Step back and think, because so somebody else can come up. Anybody else want to speak for or against this? Come forward.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your name, spell your first and last name, give us your address, please.
Mohammed Kandil, Mohamed Kandil, 299 South Redwood Road.
Just make sure you speak into the microphone.
So, I feel like the scariest thing in all of this is if you did rule in this lovely gentleman's favor, I have a fear that this would not be the end of it. As she mentioned earlier, I feel like there's been a pattern of harassment from his end, and I feel like there's always one thing. If it's not this thing, it's another. So my fear in ruling in his favor is it's going to give him that sense of power, that he's just going to feel like he can keep going with every next thing, to the point where she had a tree in her yard that she was trimming that he had an issue with. It's just one thing after another. And he also seems to contradict himself, because he said, I gave her no permission to step on my property, but then sentences after he said, I told her she could park in my driveway.
Do you have anything to say with respect to the application that she's making tonight for permission to remove the condition from the previous resolution that she can't park?
I believe she has lived at the property longer. The driveway was like that since she moved there. He moved there after the fact. I feel like by that point, she can't control how big how the driveway was designed. He can't control how the driveway was designed. It is her driveway. Just rightfully, anybody would think they could park in their driveway. I think it's common sense just listening to the opening case of him saying the case is somebody wanting to park their car in their driveway. It just sounds silly to me.
Okay, anything else?
I think that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
May I respond?
So you've had your opportunity, sir.
Anybody else have any other questions? Do we need to go to the conference?
Oh, no need, actually, she has her driveway, she can park the car. Only thing is, we cannot tell her to enter his property, but if she stay in her property and park the driveway, that's...
Sir, you've had your opportunity to speak.
I heard you 3 times. I'm sorry.
And yet you still come up to the microphone.
Well, a gentleman was here and he said some things that I wanted to respond to.
He said that multiple times you had your opportunity to speak. So we just sit back. Go ahead. Anything else?
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, the issue, I think the issue, the trespass is a civil matter, has nothing to do with us.
Right.
Absolutely has nothing to do with this board.
Couldn't agree more.
Anybody else have anything to say?
Then who do I go to?
Where do you go to next?
You can talk to your attorney and let him tell you.
If-
It ain't us.
If the driveway is too small.
Sir, we've gone through it already.
You're over, you're finished.
All right. Do we need a conference, we think?
No.
No? Okay, so we want to frame a resolution, or ready, were you saying? Want to finish what you were saying?
Yeah. No, I'm done. It's her property, she can park her cars, that's what my opinion.
All right, frame a resolution.
So the resolution would be to remove that condition from the prior resolution approving the variance.
Yep.
That's it?
Application 24:41, May Annie De Los Santos. Block number, what is the address?
You put it on this.
Sorry?
There's no address.
Sorry,
No,
52 Hawkins.
52 Hawkins, block number 716, lot number 16, zone R-3, to grant a permission to park property owner's vehicle in the property owner driveway, with the previous condition, what is that?
To remove the previous condition
To remove the previous condition.
and allow her to park vehicles on that portion of the driveway.
Allow her to park in the driveway.
Second, Grignani.
Nora?
Grignani,
Yes.
Mazzarella.
Yes.
Quinn.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Willens.
Yes.
One more.
Granted, your application is granted. We will make it official at our next meeting.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Please,
All right.
don't step in his driveway.
If somebody
Yes.
falls and breaks their legs, who's liable?
That's,
It's a legal question that would be best addressed by an attorney, other than
It's
me.
gonna be addressed by an attorney and not.
okay, that's fine, sir. We have another application to
Next
go
case,
through.
please.
Next application, 24:26, Dina Beck, 70 Sandra Drive, Block 720. C variance to construct a 2-story addition and driveway expansion contrary to section 430-35, colon 4, sorry.
Yes.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Have you seen the engineer's report?
No. Yes? Oh, I read it.
You haven't seen it, but you read it.
I saw the letter.
Somebody read it too.
There was a letter. There was a letter, sorry.
It's a time of night.
I thought there was going to be a big report.
You've seen it, you read it to her, so she's, no, so, okay.
All right, I just wanted to make sure you've seen it.
Yes, yes,
And you're prepared to address the comments made in the engineer's report.
yes,
Okay, great. Do you have people with you here tonight?
yes.
Testifying? Okay. Why don't you start by telling the board what you want to do?
So I want to do an addition on my house to, it's a two-story addition and an expansion of the driveway. My intention is, my older father and mother to move in. They need to be on a first level, handicap accessible. So, I could take care of them. Medical costs are getting a lot and they need care, and it would be a good opportunity for them. They'll have the money to take care of themselves. Or somebody come in every day and care.
Okay. And who do you have with you tonight?
I have my architect, John Pabula.
Do you want to come up?
Okay, raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, state your name, spell your last name, give us your qualifications.
My name is Jonathan Babula, Jonathan, Babula. I'm a registered architect in New York, New Jersey. I went to NJIT, graduated in 2004 with a Bachelor's of Architecture, and I've had my license since 2015. I've testified between over a dozen boards, between Bergen, Morris, Sussex County.
Okay, disqualified.
All right, want to talk to us about the overall project?
Sure. As Ms. Beck mentioned, it is a two-story addition to the left side of the house. It is an existing split-level dwelling, so there are multiple levels in there existing. This left side of the house, there is a driveway, an existing driveway, and an existing garage here, which is at grade level, and that's the side that we are doing the addition. We are seeking a front yard variance. The required front yard variance is 40 feet. Right now, it's a corner lot, so there are both 40 and 40. On this left side addition, which is towards the front, or towards the front Sandra Drive, the new setback would be 25 feet. So we're going 15 feet over. Our coverages, we conform with all our building coverages and our impervious coverages. We are widening the driveway to expand for more car space, as there will be more cars there. Let's see.
Just, what's on that side of the expansion? Is there a neighbor next door?
No. So this side of the expansion, it is a corner lot. So it is the road, these properties here are like an island, and the road goes completely around. So it is Sandra Drive, and that side of the house is the road.
So there's no neighbor?
No neighbors on that side.
Well, you're showing on your plan that there's a house next to you.
That house is the rear yard, technically, or side yard, in the back there.
Yeah, I was asking over here. Over the 20.
Oh, no, that's the street.
Yeah.
You're saying, Sandra, the house that would be on your west side, where's its frontage?
That house, the neighbor's house is also a corner lot. So its front, I think, is on the opposite side of our applicant's front yard.
So the rear yard of that house is as little as 5.3 feet?
Currently existing, yes.
Okay. Oh.
As I mentioned, we have required 15% building coverage. Existing is 7.5. We are increasing it to 10%. The required impervious coverage is 30%. Existing is 10.9, and we are increasing it to 16.4%. Due to the exact location of the house where it is built now, like I said, it's 40 feet and 40 feet. The property itself is 140 feet wide, but the dwelling was built all the way to the left side. So it kind of gives us a hardship here of not being able to expand it in the widthwise on that side there without going for a variance. The reason why we are, as I said, building the addition on the left side is because the existing grade goes down, so it is level, more accessible for elderly people. And the left side addition is going here. On the right side, the grade does go up a significant amount, so that would require steps and kind of defeat the purpose there.
If you went on the right side, would you encroach more to the neighboring properties than if you went on the left side?
Yes, because the lot does narrow as you go to the right side, so yes, that would decrease the setback there.
Probably encroaching one of the yard areas.
Yeah.
And the only variance you need is the front yard setback.
Correct.
Looking at the floor plans, it does not look as if any of the rooms are set up so that they could be a kitchen.
No, no, there will be no second kitchen. As I said, this is the existing floor plan where the existing garage is. We are converting some of that space as an entry kind of mudroom here. And then the addition is going to the left, which will be a bedroom, their own bathroom, and a walk-in closet. And this will help with any assisted living if they need nurses or any aid coming in. So again, it's at the ground level here.
Okay. And have you reviewed the engineer's report?
I did, and yes, to address any of the questions, there will be a small retaining wall on the the left side of the new driveway here, in between 2 to 3 feet high. So it would just be, keystone block retaining wall. And as far as any drainage, we will certainly comply. We are willing to put in a dry well, and we will be, working with the town engineer to make sure everything complies.
So you're willing to satisfy all the conditions in the July 11th, 2024 report, correct?
Correct.
Correct?
Correct.
Anything else? Got any questions?
So in summary, my understanding is, the addition needs to go on this. That's why you're here for the variance, because you have to put it there, because if it goes on the other side, you'd have the steep slope issue for stairs, and it wouldn't accommodate the function she needs for her parents. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you very much. Thought I got it.
Anything else? Okay. Any other witnesses? No? You speaking for again? Any questions from the, Okay, anybody wishing to come forward and speak for or against? I don't see anyone, hear anyone. I think Mr. Willens kind of put the plan together on that one, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well,
Somebody like to, do we need to go into conference?
No.
Somebody want to frame a resolution?
Application 24:26, Tina Beck, 70 Sanders Ave, block number 720, lot 2, zone R-3, to issue a grant C variance to construct a two-story addition and driveway expansion contrary to section 430-35, column 4, and with in compliance with the recommendation from the engineers report.
Second? Second, anyone?
Second, Grignani?
Grignani?
Yes.
Mazzarella?
Yes.
Quinn?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
Willis?
Yep.
All right, it's been approved. We will make it official at our next meeting, and then you can go on ahead. Good luck.
Thank you.
Very much.
Good night.
Good night.
Motion to adjourn, anyone?
Motion?
So moved.
All right.
Just
So
want
you
to,
didn't vote on it?
everyone remember about the August 21st.
August 21st?
special meeting.
Is that
Okay.
7 o'clock or 7:30?
7 to
Seven.
7. 7, right?
Everybody in favor of adjourning?
What time is it?